Little Krishna saves his favorite cat. Little Krishna, lovingly known as Kana, lived in the joyful village of Vrindavan, where peacocks danced freely, cows wandered peacefully, and the air itself seemed to hum with laughter and music. Among all his companions, Krishna adored one friend most of all, his plump, golden-furred cat. She was soft like warm sunlight, with shining eyes and fur that glowed as if touched by magic. Wherever Krishna went, she bounced happily around his feet, calling out with delight, "Meow, meow," rubbing against his ankles and lifting her tail high with pride. She never bothered sneaking into the milk pots because Krishna and his friends always made sure she was well fed, and her round, happy belly showed it. When Krishna went out with the cows, playing his flute beneath the open sky, the cat curled herself into a cozy corner of the courtyard. Sometimes she carefully cleaned her face with her paws, and sometimes she slept peacefully, warmed by the sun. The pigeons of Vrindavan trusted her completely, often sitting gently on her back and cooing softly, as if she were part of the earth itself. In Vrindavan, peace ruled all hearts and animals lived without fear, sharing life in gentle harmony. But on this particular day, curiosity led the cat into trouble. Maya had left a long, smooth silk rope lying in the courtyard. It shimmered in the sunlight and swayed slightly in the breeze, looking like a brand new toy. The curious cat pounced on it at once, tugging it with her mouth and batting it with her paws. She dragged it across the ground, rolled over it, and tossed it playfully into the air. Before she realized what had happened, the rope slipped around her neck, twisted over her ears, wrapped around her body, and tangled tightly around her little feet. In moments, she was completely stuck, like a beautifully wrapped gift. Startled and frightened, the cat cried out, "Meow, meow," her voice echoing softly through the courtyard. But Krishna had just returned from the forest and was happily enjoying his snacks, surrounded by servants and friends. Laughter filled the air and no one noticed her cries. Just then, Tok stepped outside and burst out laughing. "Kanu, look at your cat." Hearing this, Krishna rushed over at once. "Who has tied you up?" He sat beside her and gently stroked her back. Though her tail and paws were tightly tangled, the cat felt comforted by Krishna's presence and tried to help by wriggling, only tightening the knots even more. "Hold still. I'll help you," Krishna said with a smile. Children gathered around, giggling at the strange sight, while Krishna's family and servants looked on with amusement. One servant laughed and said she was playing with the rope and got herself all tied up. "She's quite naughty. Maybe she should stay like this for a while." But Krishna's heart was full of kindness. He gently hugged the cat and whispered, "Just wait a little bit." With patience and care, Krishna slowly loosened the rope. He carefully freed her ears, untangled her tail, and slipped the silk away from her tiny feet. The cat finally stayed still, trusting him completely. At last, she was free. She stretched happily, shook her golden fur, and looked up at Krishna with eyes filled with love and gratitude. With a soft meow, she rubbed her head against him once again, and peace returned to the courtyard. Once more, little Krishna showed that even the smallest troubles can be undone with patience, love, and a gentle heart. Thank you for listening. May Krishna's Leelas bring peace and happiness. Another gentle story of Krishna is waiting. Hare Krishna.